Like most women, I am many things. I am a lesbian, a wife, Latina, a worker, and an activist. I am a Marxist, a revolutionary, and I shamelessly love disaster movies. If the times were such that I could pick up arms against our class enemy, I would. But I would also find time to paint my nails. Activists of our age who joined the righteous struggle of the 60s and 70s are special, I believe. One reason is that we are still in the struggle after all this time. Many of us are in the struggle because of our worldview. Like my comrades and workers of party, I aim to see every phenomena through a materialist lens, from a class point of view, whether it's the women's issue or war. The struggle has changed tremendously since back in the day. Many have lost their way. But with a class view, you hold on through the ups and downs because you know that inevitably workers will rise up. And not just rise up to win $15 minimum wage or rise up against police brutality, but rise up to build a new society like Cuba or Venezuela, right here in the belly of the beast. A class view is essential because low-wage capitalism is wrecking our lives. Capitalism at a dead end is deadlier than ever, and we must fight just to survive. Our class is poorer than ever, more jobless than ever, hungrier than ever. How will women win their real liberation without understanding fully our oppression? And despite all these setbacks, we are optimistic nonetheless that a better world is in birth. As Arundhati Roy says so beautifully, on a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Optimism is important with regards to the migrant struggle. Immigrants and their advocates have been fighting for legalization in the recent period since '06, when the government set out to criminalize this sector of the working class. Migration of all kinds is a woman's issue. According to the UN, about 2.5 million people around the world, primarily women, are trafficked. Over 30 billion is made off the blood and tears of women. Women are forced to migrate for a lack of jobs from almost every nation as nurses or domestic workers. Millions of women from Mexico, from Haiti, from Nigeria, from the Philippines, from Somalia, from Honduras, almost everywhere, are forced to say a tearful adios to their sons and daughters as they leave. No wonder the struggle for migrant rights is so vivid, not only in the U.S., but elsewhere. Sadly, winning legalization in the U.S. looks like it's off the table for the vast majority for right now. This is a tragedy and an outrage, but we must fight on, and fight on we are. Women in the migrant movement are not just part and parcel of the movement, they are the leaders. In the South and Southwest, women are the ones organizing a reverse migration. Dozens of migrants have heroically, openly re-entered the U.S. in demand of their rights. This is bold. This is bold. Migrant activists, including women, have entered detention centers voluntarily to organize behind the walls. Last week, hundreds of migrants went on a hunger strike, first in a detention center in Washington, and later a strike followed in a Texas detention center. And it's still going on. The hunger strikes are still going on. Some of you will recall Elvira Arellano, who in 2007 took sanctuary in Chicago and publicly declared her undocumented status. Last week, this week, she, along with 20 other migrants, publicly presented themselves at the U.S. port of entry in San Diego and asked for asylum. These actions represent an increased boldness and militancy in the migrant movement. It's a new level in the struggle. One can believe that a huge percentage of young dreamers who 10 or 15 years ago perhaps thought that the Democrats would be helpful have now learned a class lesson that only the masses mobilized in struggle can bring victory. And so I invite you once again to take part in and help organize for May Day 2014. Let's all help to make this a righteous day of workers' struggle. This year, it looks, at least for now, that there will be 2 May Days. One will be down at City Hall. We say have fun. And then there will be another one, the cool one, the righteous one, that is unflinching on legalization, unwavering on racism, that fights for unity, but also wants to see the struggle taken to another level, that fights not just for workers and migrant rights, but sees the struggle for Mumia, the Cuban Five, the struggle to defend Cuba and Venezuela, that says that there is no borders in the workers' struggle, and where most of us just abhor the capitalist system. We will be at Union Square. Now, I know that these issues have not all been represented every year at Union Square, because it's impossible to do that in one short program, and people already hate our long programs. But that doesn't matter. Everyone knows that Union Square is organized by the very movement that stands for these things. The cops know it, City Hall knows it, Washington knows it, and that's what counts. This May Day at Union Square, we will welcome with open arms our sister and comrade Lynn Stewart, who faced the naked repression of the capitalist state and did not blink. This is the kind of woman that puts fears in the hearts of our enemies. See, she is exactly the kind of woman we celebrate here today. Long live May Day, long live the struggle of workers and oppressed, all power to the women. May Day where?
Union Square!
May Day where?
Union Square!
All power to the women.